Coming up on Coastline News, find out why a local politician voluntarily took a pay cut for the week.
And see how San Diegans paddled around the pier to raise money for the Surfrider Foundation.
You're watching Coastline News.
Good evening, Point Loma, and welcome to this semester's first Coastline News. I'm Ross Niederhoff.
And I'm Hillary Zieber.
A high-speed pursuit led to a crashed police car and the arrest of notorious San Diego bank robber. After robbing a bank in the Claremont area last week, the bandit led police on a chase through the Claremont Mesa area and eventually onto Sports Arena Boulevard. He crashed his car into a patrol vehicle. The man then got out of his car and was arrested moments after. Officials are not yet releasing his name, but he is believed to be the notorious robber nicknamed El Chaparrito, known for robbing over a dozen banks in San Diego.
Space is tight in downtown San Diego, but a new pop-up park may be just what the city needs to add a greater sense of community to the busy area. The city of San Diego held a competition for contestants to design their idea of a parklet, a mini mobile park that transforms parking spots and other small spaces into a public hangout area. The winning parklet was announced on September 1st, and the team was given $5,000 towards their design. The first parklet was constructed last Friday and is currently located on 4th Avenue. More parklets will be seen popping up all around downtown San Diego.
The city of Coronado has halted the cutting of 4 eucalyptus trees after 2 residents climbed up the trees on Monday and spent the night. Daniel Stewart was the first to protest after he and other Coronado residents were told that 4 of the 12 eucalyptus trees were going to be cut down for safety reasons. City crews successfully chopped 2 of the unhealthy trees located near San Diego Bay before the protests began. On Tuesday, the city decided to pause the cutting until the next city council meeting. Stewart and the other protester, Ryan Gillespie, climbed down Tuesday morning during a victory rally organized by their neighbors.
Former interim mayor Todd Gloria found out what it's like to live on minimum wage in San Diego. Reporter Marissa Hornaday has the results of his experiment.
As a reality for over 270,000 San Diegans. San Diego City Council is working to implement a gradual minimum wage raise to help the 38% of workers who struggle to make ends meet. With this raise, minimum wage will jump from $9 an hour to $9.75 by January 1st and will eventually reach $11.50 by 2017. San Diego City Council President Todd Gloria took part in the Living the Wage Challenge, where he experienced what it is like to live off of a minimum wage paycheck for 1 week.
Living on $51 in a community as expensive as America's finest city is impossible. It's an impossible task that unfortunately is the reality for many, many San Diegans.
Small business owners are afraid that this change can make it difficult to hire and keep employees, and they say that it will force them to raise prices for consumers.
Well, this has been quite the controversy in San Diego, and both sides are definitely putting up a fight. I'm standing out front of a grocery store where petitioners have gathered over the past few weeks, collecting signatures both for and against the raise. 56,000 signatures have been collected against it, meaning that City Council now has to decide whether or not to repeal the raise or place the issue before voters.
Point Loma student Joel Syria works a minimum wage job and has concerns about this issue.
Like that, it sounds like it would be a really good thing, but then, also there's the implications of the prices will also be raised on all the other things, so it might also make it harder for them. So it's like a double-edged sword, I guess.
The collected signatures will be verified by mid-October, which will determine City Council's decision. Marissa Hornaday, Coastline News.
The new iPhones are catching a lot of controversial attention after their release last week. Consumer reporter Nick Keldgaard has all the info on Apple's newest product.
And will San Diego be catching a break from this summer swelter soon? Katie Seals, weather reporter, will let us know.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
The San Diego heat is having an impact on energy supplies in the area. San Diego Gas and Electric reported Friday the heat wave earlier this week resulted in an all-time high for the energy demand. Temperatures in the high 90s and even reaching into the hundreds forced residents to crank up that air conditioning, totaling over 9,000 megawatts of energy used on Monday and Tuesday alone. SDG&E officials are encouraging residents to cut back on energy use, but are confident they will have more than enough energy supply to meet the expected demand.
Southern California Edison has submitted a $4.4 billion plan to decommission the idle San Onofre nuclear generating system. The facility has been inoperative since January 2012 when a small leak was discovered in one of the two reactors. 1 year after the leak, Edison decided in favor of retiring the plant rather than salvaging the reactor. The plan submitted to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission on Tuesday details the project's costs. A series of public meetings were held to assess the plan and will be concluded with a final meeting on Monday at San Juan Capistrano Community Center.
It's hard work keeping our oceans clean. Reporter Katie Seals tells us about one event that brought out hundreds to raise awareness for the need for clean beaches.
Hundreds of surfers, families, and even dogs came out to Ocean Beach on Sunday morning for the 23rd annual Paddle for Clean Water event. Hosted by the Surfrider Foundation San Diego chapter, the event featured live music, breakfast, a raffle, and great weather. Paddle for Clean Water is the longest-running event for the San Diego chapter. Haley Hagerstone is in her 4th year of leading the annual Paddle for Clean Water.
Well, particularly here in San Diego County, we have 70 miles of coastline to protect, and we get a lot of visitors throughout the summertime, actually all throughout the year. So we really do need to, help out as much as we can, whether it's picking up a couple pieces of trash while we're at the beach, being aware of runoff and, when to stay out of the water, or advocating for changes in terms of like our sewage treatment and water quality facilities.
The Surfrider Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the protection of our oceans.
The highlight of today's event was the paddle around Ocean Beach Pier, and you can see behind me people paddling in now. The goal is to raise awareness about the need for clean water and a healthy coastline.
World champion surfer Sean Thompson has shown his support for the foundation as a board member for the past 8 years.
But my mission in life since 2006 has been to inspire positive choice and also to inspire stoke. That's why I love to be here today. You guys are all stoked and girls are all stoked, and I can feel the juice, I can feel the energy. Thank you.
Katie Seals, Coastline News.
Have you seen the new iPhone 6?
I actually have, and to me, it is really ginormous.
It's like the size of my iPad mini. It's like twice as big as my iPhone 5.
It is.
Well, let's hear from Nick, and he'll tell us all about the new Apple product.
Thanks, guys. Apple's new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus brought in a record 4 million pre-orders, double the number from the iPhone 5S released last year. People who didn't pre-order lined up the night before, hoping to grab one before they sold out. The phone has many new features, but the biggest is iPay, which allows you to pay stores from your phone by passing the top of your phone over a standard wireless credit card scanner. Whether or not consumers will use it, however, remains to be seen in light of some of the security issues that Apple has faced in the past.
iPay, yes. I mean, yeah, a part of me is a little apprehensive about it because it is kind of weird, but I mean, why not try it and hope that it works well.
But when we look at the different safeguards that they have now put in place, we see that they have said that they will solve this problem. Another major difference is the size. The iPhone 6 is a full 1.5 inches larger than the iPhone 5, reducing the need for a tablet, laptop, and smartphone. The new phones start at $199 for the 6 and $299 for the 6 Plus, but a contract-free version will set you back at least $750. I'm Nick Kelgard, back to you at the desk.
Authorities are searching for a man who was caught on video throwing a puppy over a fence. Surveillance video from a business in Ramona dated August 28th shows a man lifting a pit bull puppy and tossing her over the fence. The pit bull did not suffer any injuries. She was adopted on Tuesday, but police have yet to identify the man in the video. If you have any information, call County Animal Services or Crime Stoppers at the number below. So, I don't know about you, but this weather has been unreal. The heat right now.
I mean, I've kind of been enjoying it. I've been able to go to the beach quite a few times, but I do agree. Some days have been a little unbearable.
Definitely. Well, let's see if it's going to be cooling off a little, and let's hear what our weather reporter, Katie Seals, has to tell us. Katie?
Good evening, Point Loma. This heat wave has really been causing a lot of problems all over the city, but I have good news. Tuesday was the first day of fall, so we'll be moving into cooler weather, and you can break out those sweaters and the pumpkin spice lattes and put them on your Instagram. Okay, our current conditions, let's take a look. We have a temperature of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Our winds are at 4 miles per hour. Humidity, it's still pretty humid. We're still kind of feeling that heat wave. They're at 70%, and then the dew point is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're gonna take a look at the map here. These are our lows for this evening. San Diego is down here at 70, El Cajon at 68. Julian, it's getting a little cold, 64, same with Ramona. We're heating up a little bit more in Escondido and Fallbrook at 66, and then over to Irvine at 68, probably our mid-degree area. Okay. And here are tomorrow's highs. Irvine is at 79 degrees over on the coast. Irvine is at 79 degrees, and then moving inland, we have Temecula heating up at 88. Fallbrook cooling down a little bit more at 81. And then if we head on down to the coast, San Diego, we're at a nice 73 degrees. It's going to be a really beautiful Friday tomorrow. 84 in El Cajon and 77 in Julian. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. So tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty hot day. Could be a lot worse. We're at 75 degrees for our high, 66 for our low. It's going to cool down a lot this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, so it'll be a really nice day at the beach. Definitely enjoy the weather outside. It's going to be really nice. And then it's going to start heating back up again as we move back into the week on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, our high is 79. Let's take a look at the Sunset Cliff Surf Report. Our wave height today was 3 to 4 feet, wind 12 miles per hour, low tide was at 1:33 p.m. and high tide was at 7:50 p.m. And that is all the weather I have for you, Point Loma. Have a great rest of your week.
2 common household goods are turning into something bad. Find out what San Diego is doing to control the new drink, scissor.
And sports reporter Greta Wall will give you an update on how the Padres are ending their season strong and the battle happening in the National League wild card race.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine. Negative.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
With that shoulder, you're going to pick up that truck. Really?
Keeping you from working, playing, or just plain moving.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people who live with pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Whoa. I'm going running. I'm going running.
I got to see this. Come on, pick it up.
Fight for your mobility. Find your own inspiration at anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Come on. I'll take it from here.
More than a week after Hurricane Odile struck the Baja California peninsula, about 80% of the hard-hit Los Cabos area remains without electricity. The hurricane devastated the state's electricity infrastructure, taking out 543 high-tension transmission towers and 3,400 distribution posts. Along the Baja California Peninsula, the hurricane left thousands homeless and many small rural communities cut off entirely. Close to 25,000 tourists who had been stranded in the popular Los Cabos resort area, many of them from the United States, were airlifted out last week. The U.S. Embassy recommends that those wishing to send assistance to the Baja California refrain from in-kind donations and instead send cash through a charity of their choice.
Prosecutors have convicted 18 San Diego County residents in a crackdown on Scissorp, a dangerous mix of codeine, cough syrup, and soft drinks. The mixture of cough syrup and lemon lime soda is variously called Scissorp, Drank, Lean, Purple Drank, and Sip. Online sources like Urban Dictionary and Wikipedia say it originated in Houston among blues musicians in the hip-hop and rap culture. According to District Attorney's Office, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and National City Police worked together for more than 18 months on Operation Purple Haze. Agents tracked down more than 50 fraudulent prescriptions used to obtain cough syrup with codeine and the antihistamine promethazine. 2 defendants are still going through court processes, and an arrest warrant was issued for one remaining suspect, a 23-year-old woman.
As the height of fire season approaches, county supervisors have approved the purchase of a 3rd Sheriff's Department firefighting helicopter at a cost of $5.2 million. County leaders also freed up money to help position firefighters around the county during red flag conditions and authorized the purchase of more communications equipment to help better coordinate fire agencies' responses during a firestorm. Fire officials say the moisture level of brush throughout the county is at critical levels. Should strong Santa Ana winds come this fall, San Diego could see a repeat of the catastrophic firestorms that erupted in 2003 and 2007. The new helicopter won't be purchased in time for this year's peak fire season in late October, but the county has already leased a 3rd UH-1H Huey that can be deployed alongside the 2 helicopters the city already owns.
The Beerology exhibit at the San Diego Museum of Man has been extended through summer 2015. Beer enthusiasts can see how the art of brewing has been perfected over the years and the special place beer has held in civilization since ancient times. The rarest artifact in the exhibit is a bronze cup from the tomb of Inca King Akhenaten and is one of 7 in the world and the only one in the U.S. San Diego is scattered with local breweries, and Beerology gives visitors a chance to compare ancient techniques with the ones they see today.
We had a lot of artifacts that related to beer, so it was a great way to tell a historic story through a modern story as well.
Have you gotten a chance to see the Padres this season?
I actually am so bummed because I haven't been able to go to any games. Have you?
I did, actually. I went last week, and they actually beat the Giants, which was really surprising to me.
That is quite shocking.
It was.
Well, let's hear from Greta Wall on how the Padres have been doing at the end of this season's baseball.
You're right, guys. The Padres did do an awesome job against the Giants last weekend here in San Diego, and in just a little bit, I'll give you an update on how they're doing tonight up there in San Francisco. But they did end their season at home last night with a 4-3 victory over the Rocks. They won all 3 of their last 3 series at home against the Phillies, Giants, and Rockies to take their home record to 48-33, a franchise record for wins in a single season at Petco Park. They traveled up to San Francisco tonight to take on the Giants one last time. Andrew Cashner is on the mound for the Padres with Yusmeiro Petit throwing for the Giants. The last time these 2 pitchers battled last Saturday, Cashner threw an 8-inning, 106-pitch win, allowing the Giants just 2 runs on 4 hits and striking out 7. The Padres swept the Giants at home last weekend and are looking to do the same at AT&T Park to keep the Giants out of the postseason. And right now, in the top of the 3rd inning, they are losing 4-0. So they're not doing such a hot job at taking over those Giants, but they're going to try to win that game. Now, in other NL West news, the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Giants last night at home to clinch the division title. Clayton Kershaw was on the mound for the Dodgers and went 8 innings, allowing only 1 run and struck out 11 to earn the 9-1 win over their division foes. Kershaw threw a season-high 117 pitches, 83 for strikes, to keep his ERA at just 1.52. He threw his first career no-no against the Rockies earlier this season. Now football is starting to heat up, and the Chargers are hoping for an easy win this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Jaguars have a young QB, and the Chargers are taking him very seriously. Blake Bortles was the 3rd overall pick in this year's NFL draft and made his professional debut last week in relief of Chad Hinn. He completed 14 of 24 passes for 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions in his first game. Chargers QB Phillip Rivers had a great game at Buffalo last week, taking the Bolts to a 22-10 victory. Despite the win, he completed 18 out of 25 pass attempts for 256 yards, no interceptions, and 2 TDs. 2 of those completions were 49-yard rockets to receiver Malcolm Floyd. The Bolts are missing running backs Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead, so Donald Brown will most likely see the lion's share of carries once again this week. That wraps up your Coastline Sports Report. I'm Greta Wall.
That is all the Coastline news we have for you tonight. Join us in 2 weeks for the next edition. My name is Ross Niederhoff.
And I'm Hillary Zieber. Have a good night.